Okay, good afternoon. Open up to questions.
Do you expect Braxton Jones to be activated and playing in this game?
Yeah, he's going to be working through his window right now. So he's, been working with the trainers, all that. We're just getting him going through his 21-day window. So right now, we'll see where it is for next week.
How did he look when you saw him this week?
Trainers say he's working good. So it's good. Again, like I said, we'll see. We'll talk about that more next week. We don't know exactly where he is in terms of like the movements and all those things, but with the trainer, he's working good.
So no go this week then?
No go this week.
Oh, okay. All right.
So we'll figure it out next week.
Thank you.
Do you expect Jaquan to be able to get healthy enough to
Yeah, Jaquan really is a situation where he's been ill, the whole week. So he was in the building today, which was great. We got a chance to see him, and everything subsided, but he was a little bit, so we'll see where it goes. We're trying to get him to the game. We'll see where it is, and we'll go from there. But still, we got some time. It's a night game, so we'll see where it goes.
What happened with him? What was the timeline, Jaquan? Because he played Sunday, he seemed good Sunday afterwards?
Yeah, he got sick. He got sick. He had illness. So right around was Monday or Tuesday, I believe. I don't know the exact day, but he was sick, and we'll see where he goes. We're obviously hopeful that he comes back, and he's played a lot of ball for us, and we'll see where it is.
You guys kept him out of the building the last 2 days?
He just first day in the building was today. Yep.
Was that just because he wasn't feeling well, or there was concern about it spreading whatever he has?
He was sick. Yeah, he's just sick. He was ill.
So if he's feeling well, you'd be comfortable with him playing even if he hasn't practiced?
Yeah, if we feel that we can get him into the game and get him there. We'll see what capacity that may be based on how he's feeling. But we're going to give him every chance we can to get to the game for sure.
How are you feeling about Darnell Wright and his shoulder?
Good. Yeah, good. He's working well. Did a nice job this week. He's got his strength back in that shoulder, and obviously that's an injury where you got some pain there. So we'll see where it is. But he was really working well this week. So we're pleased with where he is.
Is Eddie's foot trending in the right direction?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. He's getting close. Again, we got some time, but he is trending in the right direction. Looked a lot better this week than he did last week, and we like where he is too.
Matt, you guys have talked a lot about what you saw in Tyson Bagent when he was a draft prospect. Ryan and Ian have talked about that. But what did your staff do well once you got him here?
Yeah, I would just say that we teach everybody the scheme. And that's an important piece, and you teach them the concepts, and each player grasps those concepts differently at a different pace. And I think what they do well is they understand the differences of the player, of how they grasp the concepts. And he's one of the guys that grasps it fast. So he was able to chunk, like I've said before, a bunch of information, in a fast period of time. So he was able to learn more, of the playbook, faster than a lot of people. So that's really important that you have that capacity as a quarterback. And I think it's because he played a lot of ball. I think he understands concepts. I think it's very important to him to work extra hard at it and outside the building. And I thought that's really what the coaches did well, is understanding the process of how each individual learns, and according, also, Bagent, of course.
What did you guys change with his mechanics, or what did you work on with him? The player you got, if we saw a video of him throwing right now from April and looked at him throwing the other day, how different?
Yeah, just tighten.
What did you guys?
Yeah,
do?
just tightening it up. Really just a tightening of the footwork. And getting the ball out quicker. And again, he got it out quick. He's got a quick release, but you can tighten those things up in terms of his platform, his footwork, keeping him inside the frame, and working on what number of hitches this is for this particular throw, for that particular throw, and he's done a good job with that.
What has Justin Fields told you and the trainers in terms of his progress? Where is he? Where does he stand?
It's good. Yeah, it's good. He's progressing. We're happy with where he is, and again, he's working with the trainers still this week, and we'll give a better update on Monday.
So there's been real improvement, though.
Yeah, he's done well. Yep.
Has he tried to throw?
Yeah, he's working with the trainers. I'm not going to get into throwing, not throwing, all that, but he's working with the trainers, and again, we'll get an idea of where he is coming up on Monday.
Watching Tyson this week, do you see him ready to take a leap from where he was last week?
You know, he's obviously last week was his first week, and had that game plan there. And we thought he did a really nice job of executing that game plan. Now, of course, every single week's different. You got a different set of circumstances in terms of defensive scheme you're facing. This defense is different than the last one. And our setup is a little bit different, so the protections are different, the motions, the shifts, how it looks, play concepts are different, and that's every week, so now he's got to transition to week 2. And we're excited about his opportunity for him doing that this week.
How much do you expect Roshan to factor into the running back rotation on Sunday?
Yeah, it's it'll be something that we look at, We're certainly pleased that he's back. It's an exciting piece for us, not only for running back, but also for, special teams. He has a big role in that way too. And we'll see where it is. We'll discuss that later today.
What's your history with facing Herbert? What do you take away from that, I guess, from
Yeah, I would just say
games I think you played against?
yeah, he's a very talented player. He's done a really good job of working through, in terms of having different skill there available to him. And he's really got a super strong arm. I mean, he can throw the side pockets, on a rope, so they come out a little faster and stronger than most people, so he makes you defend the whole part of the field. It's always a challenge when you face an elite quarterback like that.
There's a lot of times where if you, as a defensive coach, coordinator, take away the run and you make the quarterback one-dimensional, you make him throw 40, 50 times a game, that is usually something that you want. With him, if you get him throwing 40 times, that's not necessarily a good thing, I guess.
Yeah, I think it depends on the flow and the pace of the game, where the game's going. Certainly changes every week. Sometimes you have a guy, like for Washington, they passed every down in the second half, so it depends how the game is managed on either side and what the flow is, and you got to adjust accordingly your tactics and how you call the game.
How comfortable are you with Tyson in that kind of situation, in a shootout situation?
Of course, he's, like I said, on Monday, he's thrown the ball 7,000 times, so I think he'll be okay. So we'll see how it goes, and we'll see the flow of the game.
Matt, what's your appreciation for what Tevin's been able to do in terms of just going wherever you guys need him to be?
Yeah, it's really been good. He's a very talented young man, and I think he's being a professional is important to him. You can see that how he's starting to grow that way, and being reliable for his other offensive linemen. And being accountable. That's very important to him. So we're pleased with where he is, and he was all in with the move back and forth, and again, he's got to have some functional intelligence to be able to do that, and we were fortunate that he was able to play that position before. It's been something that he's had a lot of reps at, so it was good.
Tevin was really at a crossroads, I think, last training camp, where when you guys came in, taking him out of the spot where he'd been drafted to play, like the premier spot on the offensive line, and having to not just play a different position, but really accept and embrace that. Why do you think Tevin went that way when a lot of other guys might not have?
I just really feel that he felt home inside there. I really do, because he felt, like he could excel in there. And, Chris Morgan and Steckel and Cable do a great job with those guys, being able to cross-train those guys. But, when you have a big person in there, a big body like that in the inside of the pocket, man, that's a luxury. Usually don't have that. That's got length, it's got size, it's got mass to be able to protect the inside. Because that's where a lot of times you can dent the pocket, and he's obviously really good in terms of, being strong in there and being able to protect the inside.
Going back to off that question with Tevin's professionalism, is that something that you've seen change in him since you got here, the professionalism?
I think he's just growing, the confidence, when he went inside, I think that's all part of it, and just the experience part of it, so understanding the protections, understanding the run game, understanding where he fits in terms of the football team and how he helps the football team win, so to me that was really, neat to see with him, and and see him grow that way and see his confidence grow. So it's been good.
Has Bagent surprised you at all in how he's owned the opportunity? Like a lot of guys talking about his moxie, and then he gets a run play and he's going like this to the crowd, and then you give him the game ball and he's already talking about next week. Has any of that, sort of the way he's commanded it, the leadership part of it, surprised you?
It hasn't surprised me, no. He's been that way, he's been that way. So he's, been in command, since since the injury, with Justin and he's taken on that role. And I think he's done a really good job of that. You don't really see him as a, when you see him there talking to the offense, like the night before after they do first 15 and all those things and a walkthrough, brings them all up in there and he's, like an NFL quarterback, so it was, and it's because of his functionality, right? He can function, he can spit the calls out, he can rip the calls, knows where everybody's supposed to be. So the command part is a big piece of that. I think he gets a lot of confidence from that.
Thanks, Matt.
Thanks, Matt.